Hi, my name is Matt Short. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Scandinavia with Sonic Foundry. I'm here to demonstrate the MediaSite Rich Media Capture and Webcasting solution. Basically what I have here is a mobile capture station which enables us to capture rich media in native resolution and video content as well, and we're able to either live webcast or to capture and present this on demand via the internet. The solution is very simple to use. When you boot the system up, it will automatically boot up this recorder screen, which will give you all of the instructions for capturing content. I have connected a camera, and I also have a laptop connected for my content material, which is displaying just here. The video is displaying at the top of the screen. To capture content, I simply click on the record button. Everything on the right hand side of the screen is now being captured. I can see my audio line levels, I can see my video and the slides that I'm capturing right now. The content that I'm capturing doesn't need to necessarily be PowerPoint. It could be anything that's happening on the screen on your laptop, or I could be capturing content from a document camera. As I transition through my slides on my laptop, they're captured and synchronized with the video content on the screen at the same time, and also compressed into a much smaller file. To reduce the amount of post-production work required with the solution, if I click on pause, it will automatically put a pause into the content material so that I don't have to do this afterwards. When I click on resume, it will put another fade in and fade back up. So if I'm taking some sort of comfort break, it means that I don't have to fade out this content in post-production. If I want to capture embedded video from within the presentation, if I have a video within one of the slides, I'm able to capture this at 30 frames a second by switching the presentation slide up into the video screen. I can also have my picture-in-picture, so if I still want to have my video head and shoulders within the video screen, I can do that as well. When I finish playing my video content, I'm then able to switch back and continue capturing slides as I was previously. When I click on the stop button, this will also automatically generate a synchronized file where the video and slide transitions are all synchronized together, which produce a file in this folder. And here's the file that we've just produced. I can either view this file and play it back on the recorder, or alternatively I can make any changes that I want to make to the file using our editor, which is a single timeline editor containing the video, the slides and the audio all on a single timeline, so it's very easy to use. I can move the slides along the timeline. I can also move the start time of the presentation, and I can insert a fade to make the presentation look nice and neat, like so. I can reduce the fade time as well to make the transition look a lot neater. Also, I can insert slides, so if I've made a mistake with one of my slides, rather than have to recapture the whole session, I can just insert another slide. I can also insert chapters here, so if I'm capturing video only content with no reference points, I can insert the reference points afterwards. These will then appear on the viewer that the end user is viewing when they're accessing the content over the internet. I can also cut sections of the presentation out, and I can insert cuts, fades and dissolves. So if somebody has made an error or I want to remove some of the content, I can do that in a nice, neat manner. Like so. Once I've completed any changes that I want to make to my presentation, I simply File, Commit Changes to New, and save that file onto my recorder. I can then save that file up to the server for viewing at a later date. This is especially useful where we've been live streaming and we want to edit the content before it's made available for on-demand viewing. Okay, and there is my new version of the same presentation with all the changes in it. Once I've captured my content, I can then log on to my server, which will enable me to host the content and webcast it. It will actually allocate a unique URL for every piece of content that I've captured. What I need to do now is to actually find somewhere to send the content. So I will add a presentation to the server. It's a very straightforward process. This process is the same whether we're performing a live webcast or whether we're capturing content for on-demand viewing later. To create my presentation, I simply fill in the relevant fields. I'll give it a title, a description, I then allocate it to a folder, and I can create as many folders as I want. Folders can be password protected for secure viewing by your viewing audience. I'll allocate this to my own folder. I can also then decide on the player that I'm going to use. This is the web page that the viewers will actually see the content in. In this case I've selected a Silverlight standard player, which looks like this. So this is the screen that the content will appear in when we've published it. I can also add in a presenter, and we have the ability to add multiple presenters to a presentation. We can put in all relevant information, photograph, biography of the presenter, email addresses, any other relevant information about that presenter. We can store these in a library which can then be selected later for additional content capture. I can also select a date for the recording to take place. If I want to select a date for something to take place in the future, I can do that and set up all the presentation to take place automatically. I also insert a recording time and the duration of the presentation. This will enable the recorder to switch itself on and switch itself off again. If I want this to be a live broadcast, I simply tick the live broadcast box. If I'm capturing content for on-demand viewing, therefore it's not live but will be viewed later, I simply untick the box. And that's the only difference between setting up the two different sessions. I also have the ability to add in interactivity, so I can allow multiple choice polling, which I can insert later, or I can allow my viewers to send questions into a question and answer forum where the presenter gets to see the questions and respond to them either live or later on after the session is finished. I then save the presentation, and that will now be visible in a catalogue that I've set up for this presentation. And here is the presentation. The URL at the top of the page here is unique to this catalogue. There is actually a unique URL for the presentation itself as well, and if I just click on that, this is the unique URL for this presentation. The URL, all the content can be embedded within other web pages. Okay, when we produce an event which is going to take place in the future, this screen will appear. It will say waiting for presentation to begin. Then we need to make a connection between the recorder and the server. I go to my recorder, I click on open presentation. The recorder will then check the server to see if there are any presentations waiting to begin.